Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. We're about to dive into a crucial topic, securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot. This presentation is all about ensuring safe and compliant AI integration within our organizations. We'll explore comprehensive strategies for data protection, risk management, and ethical AI use. Over the next few moments, I'll guide you through how to effectively govern and secure AI tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot. Let's get started. Welcome to today's session on securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot. We'll explore how the powerful features of Copilot are supported by strong security and governance frameworks, ensuring your data remains protected and regulatory requirements are met. As organizations start adopting Copilot, it's crucial to focus on securing sensitive information and governing AI interactions. This helps maintain trust and ensures compliance across your operations. Microsoft 365 Copilot seamlessly integrates advanced AI capabilities directly into your favorite productivity apps, which not only boosts efficiency, but also enhances collaboration. By implementing these security and governance measures, we can confidently leverage AI to transform our work while keeping everything safe and compliant. Let's take a closer look at Microsoft's trust foundation for Copilot. Ensuring that AI tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot are secure and compliant is a top priority. That's why certifications such as GDPR, ISO 27018, and HIPAA are so important. These certifications demonstrate that Microsoft has met rigorous standards for data protection and privacy, supporting properly configured deployments of Copilot. Microsoft's long-standing commitments and strict controls create a trusted environment for users. This means you can rely on the platform to handle your data responsibly. Additionally, data residency and sovereignty are crucial, especially for enterprise customers. Microsoft addresses this with features like the EU data boundary, designed to protect and contain data within specific regions. All of these measures, from certifications to data controls, underpin Microsoft's dedication to privacy and compliance. They ensure that Copilot operates in a secure, trustworthy manner, aligning with your organizational requirements. This foundation allows organizations to confidently leverage AI to enhance productivity, while maintaining the highest standards of data security and privacy. Let's take a closer look at how Microsoft is committed to securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot. First, when it comes to copyright concerns, we address these through protected material detection and our customer copyright commitment, ensuring that intellectual property rights are respected and safeguarded. Moving on, AI security risks like harmful content and prompt injections are serious issues. That's why we've implemented advanced protections to mitigate these risks, helping to keep the AI environment safe and trustworthy. Another key point is data control. Customers retain full control over their data, and importantly, Microsoft does not use Copilot prompts or responses to train our foundation models. This means your data stays private and under your oversight. Physical security is also a top priority. We utilize robust physical security controls and tenant data isolation to prevent unauthorized access, ensuring your information remains secure from physical threats. Finally, data encryption plays a vital role. We encrypt data both at rest and in transit. This double layer of encryption guarantees the confidentiality and integrity of your information, whether it's stored or being transferred. All these measures come together to ensure that AI integration is not only powerful, but also safe, compliant, and respectful of your data privacy. Let's talk about how we can secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot effectively. This integrated approach, combining Microsoft 365 Copilot with Microsoft Purview, ensures that the use of generative AI within your organization is not only powerful, but also safe, compliant, and ethical. The key idea here is that these tools work together to respect existing permissions, support lifecycle policies, and offer guided assistance to help you stay compliant with AI regulations. For example, they make sure that sensitive information is protected and that your AI usage aligns with your organization's policies. Purview specifically enforces data loss prevention, insider risk management, and compliance auditing, especially across Copilot interactions. This means you can monitor and control how data is handled, reducing risks and ensuring adherence to regulations. Altogether, combining Microsoft 365 Copilot with Microsoft Purview provides a comprehensive security and governance solution, giving you confidence that your AI tools are used responsibly and securely within your organization. Let's talk about some of the top security and governance concerns around generative AI, specifically in the context of Microsoft 365 Copilot. As organizations start to adopt these powerful tools, leadership is naturally focused on ensuring they are secure and compliant. One key area is confidence in AI governance. Leaders want to have full visibility into how AI is being managed, especially when it comes to data inputs and outputs. In fact, 84% of leaders are seeking greater confidence in managing and auditing this process. They need to understand what data is being used and how the AI is producing results to mitigate risks effectively. Another critical concern is detecting risky AI queries. Leaders are worried about users querying large volumes of sensitive data, which could lead to leaks or misuse. About 41% of respondents want mechanisms in place to identify these risky behaviors quickly, helping prevent potential data breaches before they happen. And speaking of data leaks, fear of sensitive data leakage remains high. 80% of leaders are concerned that sensitive information could be shared or leaked through AI tools. This highlights the importance of robust governance and security measures to protect organizational data as we integrate AI more deeply into our workflows. Overall, these concerns underscore the need for strong governance frameworks to ensure AI is used safely and responsibly, aligning with our broader goal of leveraging AI's benefits while minimizing risks. Now, let's talk about the tools we have to secure and govern Microsoft 365 Copilot effectively. First, applying sensitivity labels is crucial for protecting our most critical data. These labels help us classify and control access to sensitive information, ensuring it stays protected. Next, we can use dynamic security policies to safeguard Copilot interactions. This means setting up rules that automatically adjust based on the context, keeping our AI environment safe from misuse. It's also important to secure sensitive files and interactions. We can get notified if there's any unethical use or copyright violations, allowing us to stay proactive and address potential issues before they escalate. Receiving alerts on risky behavior is another vital aspect. These alerts help us quickly identify and respond to any activities that might threaten our organization's security or compliance standards. To make sure AI usage aligns with both regulatory requirements and our internal policies, leveraging audit logs and compliance tools becomes essential. They give us visibility into how Copilot is being used and help us enforce the right controls. Monitoring user behavior is key to detecting potential threats early. We can enforce policies that protect sensitive information from insider risks or accidental oversharing. Microsoft also provides detailed reports and dashboards, which are valuable for assessing oversharing risks. These tools help us identify vulnerabilities and take steps to mitigate them effectively. Overall, these tools form a comprehensive approach to ensuring our AI integration remains safe, compliant, and aligned with our organization's governance standards. Now, let's discuss how we can address oversharing risks when it comes to Microsoft 365 Copilot. One of the key strategies is applying lifecycle policies and legal holds. This means we need to manage Copilot prompts and responses carefully, ensuring that we can retain or delete data as needed to stay compliant. Next, it's crucial to regularly review Copilot logs and interactions. By doing so, we can detect any compliance issues or ethical concerns early on and take action before they escalate. Another important step is implementing access restrictions. We want to prevent Copilot from processing or referencing sensitive data unless it's appropriate. This helps safeguard confidential information from unintended exposure. Along the same lines, applying policy-driven recommendations can help us adjust and limit unnecessary access. This way, we reduce the risk of excessive permissions that could lead to data oversharing. Finally, using reports and dashboards gives us visibility into what data is being shared or overshared. Monitoring these metrics allows us to identify potential vulnerabilities and address them proactively, maintaining a secure and compliant environment. All these measures are integral to ensuring that our AI tools are used responsibly and securely within our organization. Now, let's talk about preparing your data for Copilot access, specifically focusing on securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot to ensure safe and compliant AI integration. One key point to remember is that files often lack sensitivity labels or protections that travel with them. This means that without proper labeling, sensitive information could be exposed unintentionally. Ensuring correct access controls and labeling is absolutely critical. It helps us safeguard data during processing and prevents accidental exposure. Sensitivity labels, for example, are essential. They let us classify and protect information appropriately, making sure only authorized users can access sensitive content. Another important aspect is sharing files. Sometimes we share links that are too permissive, like allowing everyone in the organization to view or edit. While convenient, these overly permissive links increase the risk of sensitive information being accessed broadly, which can be problematic. Similarly, there's the risk of accidentally saving sensitive files to broadly accessible SharePoint sites. This kind of oversharing can happen unintentionally, but it significantly expands the potential audience and increases security risks. Now, even though Copilot only accesses files that an individual is authorized to see, oversharing can still expand that access unintentionally. So, it's crucial to maintain proper access controls and be mindful of sharing practices to prevent unintentional data exposure. In essence, proper security and governance measures are vital to ensure that AI tools like Copilot are used safely, responsibly, and in compliance with our organization's policies. Now, let's talk about some common causes of oversharing in SharePoint, especially when it comes to securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot. One key issue is sites and files missing sensitivity labels that are designed to enforce protection policies. Without these labels, sensitive information might be more exposed than intended. Another problem we often see is the use of broad domain groups, like everyone except external users, which can be too inclusive and lead to unintended access. It's important to be precise with group settings to avoid oversharing. Permission inheritance issues also play a big role. When inheritance is broken or not properly managed, it can create unintended access rights, making sensitive content accessible to more people than appropriate. Lastly, site privacy settings are sometimes configured as public instead of private. Public settings can inadvertently expose information to a wider audience, so ensuring the correct privacy level is crucial for maintaining control and compliance. All these factors highlight the importance of proper governance and careful configuration to keep our data safe and compliant as we integrate AI tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, let's talk about how we can actively manage oversharing and keep our AI environment secure. One of the most important steps is to continuously monitor for new oversharing risks. This means setting up systems that keep an eye on potential issues and alert us whenever a risk is detected, so we can act quickly to address it. Next, removing organization-wide site access when it's no longer needed is crucial. Limiting access helps reduce the chance of oversharing across the entire organization. We also need to prevent Copilot from processing sensitive files when it's appropriate. This way, we protect sensitive information from being unintentionally used or exposed. Acting on policy suggestions is another key point. By responding promptly to recommendations, we can mitigate oversharing risks before they become bigger problems. And finally, if there are existing oversharing issues, we can fix them by restricting user and Copilot access to risky sites. This layered approach ensures we're not only preventing new risks, but also addressing those that already exist. All these strategies connect back to our goal of ensuring a safe, compliant, and trustworthy AI integration within Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, let's look at the oversharing blueprint overview. This slide emphasizes the importance of following a structured approach to ensure that our Microsoft 365 Copilot deployments are both secure and compliant. The core idea here is that deploying AI tools responsibly requires ongoing effort and vigilance. First, we need to enable secure deployments by continuously monitoring our environment. This means keeping a close eye on permissions, automating hygiene processes, and enforcing policies consistently. Think of it as maintaining a secure foundation that adapts as our organization evolves. Next, we have ongoing monitoring and hygiene practices. Implementing measures like restricted SharePoint search and applying sensitivity labels help us mitigate oversharing. These controls act as safeguards, preventing sensitive information from leaking or being accessed inappropriately. Finally, deploying effective controls involves using reports and tools to identify potential oversharing risks proactively. Regular assessments help us spot vulnerabilities early, ensuring we can address them before they become issues. Overall, this approach is about integrating security into every step of our AI deployment process, aligning with our broader goal of responsible and compliant AI use. Now, let's look at some practical oversharing solutions for our E5 customers, specifically around securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot to ensure safe and compliant AI integration. First, during the operational phase, we focus on automating permission management, which means setting up systems that automatically control who has access to what, reducing the risk of oversharing. We also enforce retention policies, ensuring that data is stored only as long as necessary and then properly disposed of, helping us stay compliant. Additionally, continuous remediation of oversharing is key. This involves regularly reviewing and fixing sharing issues as they occur, keeping our environment secure over time. This phase typically takes about a month or more, emphasizing the ongoing nature of these efforts. Moving into the deployment phase, the goal is to identify the most popular sites within our organization and assess where oversharing might be happening. Based on this, we can grant Copilot access only to low-risk content, minimizing potential exposure. This step usually takes just a few days. Finally, in the pilot phase, we enable audit and protection features to monitor activity and enforce policies in real time. We also turn off broad sharing groups that could lead to excessive sharing, and we simulate data loss prevention policies to test their effectiveness before full deployment. This phase is quicker, around 2 to 4 weeks, but crucial for fine-tuning our controls. Overall, these steps form a comprehensive approach, starting with careful planning and assessment, moving through targeted implementation, and maintaining continuous oversight, all aimed at keeping our AI tools safe and compliant. Now, let's look at some practical solutions for oversharing, specifically tailored for E3 and business premium customers. First, securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot is crucial to ensure that AI integration remains safe and compliant. One key step is to automate permission hygiene. This means regularly reviewing sharing permissions to prevent accidental oversharing. It's also important to monitor oversharing reports consistently, so we can catch issues early. Applying sensitivity labels helps us classify and protect sensitive data effectively. Moving into the operational phase, we should turn off broad sharing groups to limit wide access, enable audit logs to track sharing activities, and even simulate data loss prevention policies to identify potential oversharing before it happens. During deployment, A good practice is to export top sites and run permission reports, giving us visibility into where data might be exposed. Using tools like Purview Content Explorer allows us to identify sensitive data across our environment proactively. Finally, in the pilot phase, these steps help us test and refine our oversharing controls before full deployment, making sure our data stays protected throughout each stage. Now, let's talk about using sensitivity labels for protection. Sensitivity labels are a crucial tool for enforcing consistent protection policies that align with our organization's compliance requirements. They help ensure that our data and content are handled appropriately across all platforms. One key aspect is enforcing organizational compliance. These labels can restrict access from unmanaged devices and even apply specific authentication contexts, which is an advanced feature available with an E5 license. This means we can control who accesses our information and from where, adding an extra layer of security. Another important point is managing external access and sharing. Sensitivity labels enable us to control how external users can access and share content, making sure collaboration remains secure without compromising our policies. They also give us the ability to manage site privacy settings, such as choosing between public and private configurations. This helps us control visibility and access at the site level, maintaining tighter security where needed. Finally, sensitivity labels help safeguard content across multiple platforms like Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 groups, and SharePoint sites. This ensures that regardless of where our content lives, it stays protected and compliant with our policies. Overall, using these labels effectively supports a secure, compliant, and well-governed AI integration within our Microsoft 365 environment. Now, let's look at how we can ensure ongoing compliance with our Microsoft 365 Copilot. The key here is leveraging audit logs and reports. These tools are essential for continuously monitoring and verifying that our AI environment remains secure and compliant over time. They help us spot any anomalies or unauthorized access quickly. Next, in Step 4, we set up specific configurations to prevent Copilot from processing sensitive files. This is a critical control point to safeguard confidential information and ensure that our AI tools are operating within the boundaries we define. Moving back to Step 3, we focus on configuring sensitive file settings. This involves setting up policies that restrict how sensitive data can be accessed or used by Copilot, helping us mitigate risks before they happen. Then, in Step 2, we address permissions. Applying policy recommendations to correct excessive permissions is vital. Overpermissioned access can lead to oversharing, so we want to make sure permissions are appropriate and well-controlled. Finally, in Step 1, we utilize Microsoft 365 Copilot and Purview tools to identify overshared content. This is the first step in the process, finding where sharing might be going beyond intended boundaries, so we can take action to remediate and prevent future issues. Altogether, these steps form a comprehensive approach to managing oversharing concerns, ensuring that AI integration remains safe, compliant, and aligned with our governance policies. Let's talk about protecting against data loss and insider risks when it comes to Microsoft 365 Copilot. One key point is that compromised credentials or disgruntled employees can potentially exploit Copilot's capabilities. Understanding these scenarios is crucial because it helps organizations implement targeted protections before issues arise. Now, malicious actors might try to exploit Copilot by summarizing sensitive data in ways that violate usage policies, which can pose serious security risks. It's essential to keep an eye on that. Additionally, while Copilot offers great productivity benefits, these same features can unintentionally increase risks. For instance, it might create unprotected documents from inputs that aren't properly secured, leading to potential data exposure. When we talk about data security, we need to consider two main aspects: data loss and insider risks. Data loss involves unsafe or inappropriate sharing or use of sensitive information. Insider risk, on the other hand, refers to the misuse of authorized access, someone within the organization using their privileges inappropriately. By understanding these risks, both external exploitation and internal misuse, we can better protect our data, ensure compliance, and maintain the integrity of our information in this AI-driven environment. In this part of the demo, we're showcasing proactive risk management in action. What that means is we're not just reacting to issues after they happen, but actively preventing them. We do this by applying dynamic security policies that can adapt in real time to emerging threats. This allows us to stay ahead of potential risks as they develop. Next, we see how protections are enforced on sensitive files and on content generated by Copilot. This ensures that confidential information remains protected, no matter where it's being used or shared. We also focus on detecting and alerting us to potential data loss or insider risk events. This is crucial because it helps us identify risky behaviors early, so we can intervene before any damage occurs. Finally, the demo illustrates how Microsoft tools monitor user interactions with Copilot. They look for any signs of risky or unethical behavior, giving us visibility and control over how AI is being used within the organization. Overall, this demonstrates how integrated security measures help us manage risks proactively, safeguarding our data and maintaining compliance. Now, let's look at how these capabilities help security teams respond quickly to AI-related risks. The tools provided enable teams to escalate and investigate incidents efficiently, ensuring that any issues are addressed promptly. We also have visibility into unlabeled files and sites that might be involved in risky behaviors, allowing for better oversight and faster action. Additionally, detailed reports on sensitive data referenced during Copilot sessions give us a clear picture of potential data exposures. Real-time alerts on suspicious AI interactions, such as prompt injection attempts, help us catch and respond to malicious activities as they happen. Overall, these features are all about empowering security teams to maintain a safe and compliant AI environment, which ties directly into our goal of secure and responsible AI integration across Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now, let's talk about how we protect sensitive files and Copilot interactions throughout their entire lifecycle. This layered approach is crucial because it helps us preserve confidentiality at every stage, from creation to storage and sharing. It ensures that even if files are moved or downloaded, the security measures stay in place, maintaining consistent protection. Another key point is restricting Copilot's access to highly sensitive information, like mergers and acquisitions data. By blocking access to these files, we reduce the risk of accidental exposure or misuse. Plus, any responses or generated files from Copilot automatically inherit the protections set on their source files, ensuring that confidentiality is maintained across all outputs. Finally, we use auto-labeling to detect sensitive content and automatically apply the appropriate sensitivity labels. This proactive step helps safeguard sensitive information right when it's created, making sure it's handled with the necessary security measures from the start. Overall, these protections work together to keep our data safe and compliant, reinforcing the overall theme of secure and responsible AI integration. Let's take a closer look at how dynamic security policies work in this context. These policies adapt in real time based on risky actions, which means the system can respond immediately to any suspicious behavior. This proactive approach significantly enhances our overall security by preventing potential threats before they escalate. The key here is balancing productivity with security. So, while security measures tighten when needed, they don't unnecessarily hinder user work. For example, if a risky action is detected, the system can automatically stop sharing, downloading, or deleting critical data to prevent data breaches. In addition, access to sensitive content is restricted during investigations, ensuring that critical data remains protected while issues are being assessed. Security policies are not static. They automatically tighten or loosen depending on the level of risk detected, thanks to automatic enforcement. This is where AI-driven risk analysis comes into play. It detects patterns like unusual sequences of risky Copilot interactions or large-scale downloads of sensitive data. It also monitors deviations from normal user behavior, helping us catch potential threats early. Overall, these dynamic policies are vital for maintaining a secure and compliant environment, especially as we integrate powerful AI tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot into our workflows. Let's talk about how we can govern AI use to meet regulatory policies. When it comes to securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot, our goal is to ensure that AI integration remains safe and compliant. Key capabilities here include enforcing compliance standards, managing sensitive information, and overseeing the entire content lifecycle. The main focus is on minimizing risk while still enabling effective use of Copilot. This governance framework is designed to seamlessly integrate Copilot interactions into your existing Microsoft 365 compliance and legal processes. It supports essential activities like audits, investigations, and adherence to regulatory requirements, making sure everything stays on track. An important aspect is how we manage the life cycle of AI-generated content. This includes setting policies for retention and deletion, as well as detecting and mitigating misuse early on. Doing this helps reduce exposure to risks and maintains trust in the system. Another critical area is admin controls. These controls allow you to enforce regulatory compliance by configuring settings that limit Copilot's access to outdated or sensitive information. This not only improves response quality, but also ensures that AI usage aligns with your organization's policies. Finally, Microsoft 365 Copilot governance helps ensure that AI use aligns with various regulatory frameworks like the EU AI Act and the NIST AI Risk Management Framework. The governance controls include features that promote safe, effective use of Copilot while actively minimizing potential risks. This way, we can harness the power of AI responsibly and confidently within your organization. Let's talk about how we can secure Copilot-generated content, especially during investigations or litigation. It's crucial to preserve the integrity of the data, so enforcing legal holds ensures that nothing is lost or tampered with during legal processes. Managing Copilot prompts and responses is also key. We want to control what inputs and outputs are happening, making sure everything stays within compliance boundaries. That's where applying retention and deletion policies comes in. These help us manage how long data is kept and when it should be securely deleted, supporting both compliance and ethical standards. Monitoring and auditing interactions is another vital aspect. By doing so, we can ensure that all AI interactions align with specific regulations and organizational policies. This ongoing oversight helps us detect any irregularities early on. Finally, setting up Copilot admin controls empowers us to govern the system effectively. We can define who has access, what they can do, and how the system is used overall. All these measures work together to ensure that our AI tools are not only innovative, but also safe, compliant, and trustworthy. Now, let's talk about how we can audit Copilot interactions and enforce policies to keep everything secure and compliant. Detailed event data plays a crucial role here. It provides transparency and accountability, which are essential for organizations to stay in line with regulations and to respond effectively during audits or legal inquiries. One of the key features is that Copilot interactions are searchable alongside other Microsoft 365 content. This makes compliance investigations and legal discovery much more straightforward, since you can easily locate relevant communication or data. Admins also have the ability to enforce lifecycle policies, such as setting retention schedules or placing legal holds on Copilot data. This means you can control how long data is stored and ensure it's preserved when needed, which is vital for compliance requirements. Regarding data retention, audit logs keep a record of Copilot interactions for up to 6 months. After that, the data is deleted within 90 days, specifically for prompt and response content. This balance helps manage storage while respecting privacy and data management policies. Finally, Microsoft 365 Copilot tracks comprehensive interaction logs. These include everything from prompts and responses to accessed resources and user activity. This level of detailed auditing gives organizations the insight needed to monitor AI usage, enforce policies, and ensure accountability across the board. Let's explore how the governance framework ensures the ethical use of AI technologies. It plays a crucial role in helping organizations maintain trust and integrity in their AI applications. When we talk about supporting ethical AI use, Microsoft 365 Copilot governance helps organizations mitigate risks by establishing clear guidelines and controls. This approach not only promotes responsible AI use, but also ensures compliance with relevant regulations. Proactive risk mitigation is key here. Compliance is supported by adhering to standards such as the EU AI Act, as well as other important frameworks like the NIST AI Risk Management Framework and ISO certifications. These standards provide a solid foundation for responsible AI deployment across different regions and industries. Another important aspect is how administrators can conduct targeted searches. This feature supports litigation or internal reviews by allowing searches that include Copilot-generated content, enabling comprehensive investigations when needed. To stay ahead of potential issues, alerts notify administrators of suspicious activities. These notifications enable timely investigations into possible violations, helping to prevent harm before it escalates. Finally, Microsoft 365 Copilot governance includes mechanisms to detect potential ethical and compliance violations, things like copyright infringement, insider trading, or regulatory collusion. By monitoring for these kinds of issues, organizations can uphold their ethical standards and stay compliant with regulations, fostering a trustworthy AI environment. Thank you for joining me today as we wrap up our discussion on securing and governing Microsoft 365 Copilot. In this final slide, I want to emphasize the importance of ensuring that AI integration remains safe and compliant throughout its lifecycle. First, proactive detection is key. We have tools designed to help identify potential issues early, allowing you to investigate and protect your organization before problems escalate. This is all about staying ahead of risks and maintaining control. Next, risk mitigation tools play a vital role. They provide transparency into how data is being used and enable you to control Copilot's access and data handling, ensuring that sensitive information is protected. Auditing and lifecycle management are also crucial. Regular audits help enforce regulatory compliance and support ethical AI practices, giving you confidence that your AI tools are being used responsibly and within the necessary legal frameworks. Finally, governance controls are the backbone of a secure AI environment. They help you set policies, enforce rules, and maintain oversight, ensuring that your AI initiatives align with your organizational goals and standards. Together, these elements create a comprehensive approach to governing Microsoft 365 Copilot, helping you unlock its benefits safely and responsibly. If you're interested in learning more or engaging further, please reach out to me via email. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to working with you on secure AI adoption.